I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Below Deck. We're talking about season 1, episode 10, Big Deck Energy. And I'm here live with you again at the house. My name is Akilah, Ffriend, and like my Below Deck pseudo soulmate Parker, I only have happy tears. I have some of my other hosts with me. Nate Harris is here, and you know Nate as Madison's not so secret admirer. And of course, Amir Yassai. And he shopped in Byron's closet and got a hat for all of us to celebrate today. We have so much in store for you guys today. We're going to talk first about Ciara and Paget's relationship before moving into Jenna and Adam's relationship. And then finally, the I love you as a friend relationship we like to know as Parker and Madison, before moving into our news and special segment section. And it's all about charter, guest pass, whether they be horror stories or not, and all of the guests and their requests in between, and leaving you all off with some predictions for what we think would happen in episode 11 and for the rest of the season. But before we do all that, let's start it off with just overall thoughts. Guys, what do you think?
Nate, take it away. What do you think?
I thought it was a great episode. I like you guys said, the things that we're going to cover today are touching literally, they dove deep. I mean, we learned a lot about Ciara, and I'm actually proud of my girl because I felt like she showed a different side of her. Like she said at the beginning of this episode, we had so many, not necessarily negative things to say about Ciara, but we always felt like she was too serious or she was uptight, and she really let loose. And then it was impressive to see her the next day that she kind of got right back to business mode. So that just might be who she is. So I was glad to see that side of her. But I also was glad to see Adam get jealous at the end because Adam has been having this cocky little energy going on. So seeing him get jealous at the end, I understand. But at the same time, I understand where he's going through. So overall, great episode, and I'm excited to get into it.
Yes. I love that. And I think exactly what you said. I'm like, maybe this is the Ciara that we needed to see and that she really understands work-life balance, unlike the rest of us. So the idea of her just being in a reality show, that's probably why she was so serious all the time. And I like that she was finally showing that Paget's relationship with Georgia is a bit of a problem and it bothers her a little bit. You know, I don't know if that's the reason why she wanted to be a little more sexual and a little more free, but you know, you can tell that it got under her skin, as it should, because you know, if you're really involved with your boyfriend like this would be a problem.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I totally second that. And I'm so happy that this show, Bravo and reality shows, have a good 22 episodes. We're not going to be starved like other shows that are wrapping up because of quarantine. We're going to get a lot more Below Deck, which I'm excited about. I think this episode was great because people came out of their shells, not only Ciara, but Byron. We got to see him drunk. We got to see him talking about having sex and, you know, pre-baby. So I was here for it. And there's so much more drama a brew. So I'm excited.
Right. I mean, we kind of touched on it, but let's go a little deeper. We mentioned the first thing is really about Ciara and Paget, like their relationship. Obviously today they had the day off, the guests or the charter crew, like they finally had their day off to just lay in the sun. And by the way, to have any job day off where it's like that, I mean, I think I would live on a boat to be able to sail and be able to do all this for their day off. But you know, Ciara and Paget had this opportunity where they could have made their relationship a little stronger. They could have had that one-on-one time, but it seemed like all Paget wanted to do was hang out with Georgia.
It kind of seemed that way. And you know, his skin is so white. These men need to tan. I was like, Byron took his shirt off, then Paget, and I was like, oh my God. But you know, they're such cuties. And I think that Paget and Ciara have really grown to understand their relationship. And I've kind of like, in a way, it's almost like they've been together long enough that they don't need to spend that time together. Like they're way out of the honeymoon phase. So I feel like in some respects, but then I kind of felt bad for my girl when she's like, I'm going to rub the lotion on my butt so my boyfriend can see. I was like, oh,
yes, that was like literally awkward.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Awkward.
I feel this. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I feel the same. I'm glad that we saw this side of her. But I think that this was a time she was just like, all right, look, I understand what's going on. Like you said, Amir, like we saw a different side of their relationship where we can tell that they've gone that next step where, like, you know, when it's marriage and you're married to someone and then those small little flirt things, they don't really bother you. It's really not that serious because you really just know that person to a whole deeper connection and a level. But when she was like expressing like these things, like, oh, maybe my boyfriend can rub him off, or she tried to like kind of insert herself in there. I love to see that aggressiveness, because from the past, all we see from her is just like, oh, well, she's flirting with him, but like, I'm not really going to say anything. But she really stepped up on that boat. And so I'm glad that we got to see that part, because in the past, we saw her always seeing him and then just not really saying anything.
And not saying anything about it. And I liked also how it seemed that after a while, not immediate, but after a while, Georgia one admitted that she actually had feelings for Paget, which was new. You know, we saw that it was happening, but she admitted it. But she also said, you know, I'm going to step back and just drink this tequila because I recognize that this is, you know, problematic. So I appreciated, even though it's like, girl, you should have known your place from the very beginning. You don't need like 10 episodes in to finally realize, oh, this guy is actually taken. It seemed like she at least had some boundaries. So it is what it is.
Well, I'm proud that.
Well, I don't. You know what? Another thing, Akilah, it is what it is. Sorry, your internet was cutting out a little bit. What I wanted to say, Akilah, about that was I thought it was interesting when Georgia basically like seemed kind of like a little lost puppy dog when they went to bed. When Georgia and when Ciara and Paget went to bed, Georgia was like, "Where are they? Where are they?" And she was kind of running around the cabin. It's like they're in a relationship. Like they went to sleep. Like leave them alone. Like, it was kind of cute. It was an interesting moment.
Right.
Well, so what do you guys think about when they were in that position where Ciara is like, she's all over Georgia and she's like really telling her about this. She didn't say let's have a threesome, but she's really like kind of signaling this. And Georgia's really thinking that this is gonna go down. Like she's excited about this. Everyone else is in the hot tub and she's just chilling. What do you guys think? You guys think that Ciara did give off that vibe, like I'm ready to have this threesome, or I kind of want you to join in, or do you think Georgia kind of took it somewhere where it should have been?
I think actually that Ciara did that to get the attention of Paget. I think she recognized that Paget is looking at Georgia some type of way, and I want, when you think of Georgia, you think of me. So I think she was inserting herself in that capacity. I don't know if she was 100% serious. She could have been, and who knows what she could have done it because she wanted to, because she thought Paget would want to. Who knows? But I really think that was her being flirtatious, but with the end result really being, you know, let me get the attention of Paget.
Yeah.
What do you think, Amir?
I mean,
that was smart.
Yeah, because I didn't look at it from that perspective. But now thinking about it, when she says that, when she made that comment, when she's like, yeah, Paget flirts with everyone in the world except me. You know, that like, obviously I noticed that, but like that makes more sense now that you say that, because I think it was you, Amir, when you were explaining a couple weeks ago about how like it doesn't matter how a woman may feel, like men don't, we respond to things in certain ways, you know, and so certain things where we're able to flirt and be more freely with a woman than having to be more serious with a woman are two different things. So maybe Ciara like put on this facade for the day just to make sure she got that attention back from her boyfriend, which again, I'm not mad at her for it.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at her either.
We're thinking.
You're thinking one step ahead. I'm not a straight guy, but I think that two girls kissing is going to attract the attention of a straight guy. He's going to perk up. Every guy wants a threesome, and Paget was all excited because, you know, they want to be the center of attention. And I think at the end of the day, Ciara got what she needed. She got her man in the bed. Door closed on Georgia. So it was smart. It worked.
There it is. But you know what? This is a perfect time to introduce the fact that we'll be able to ask Ciara ourselves. What was her intention? What did she want to do with this? And kind of just more about her relationship and her as a whole person, all on her own when it comes to sailing yachts. She'll be joining us this Wednesday, so make sure that you tune in. And if you have questions in advance, this is the time to be that much more proactive and that much more engaging with us on our social media. So comment, subscribe on our YouTube, subscribe on our pages. We all have our personal pages. And we'll get to it and we'll pick and choose. And, you know, maybe you'll be able to be our fourth host when it comes to asking Ciara those questions on Wednesday. So subscribe.
Yes, and Paget will be there too. So you can ask him about, they'll both be there together. So they're surprised.
And I wanted to add, I am proud of Paget did show a lot of
we're gonna get
this episode too.
We're gonna get all the tea. You did.
Good.
There it is. All the tea. That's true. Like we were talking all about Ciara. Paget is definitely a part of this equation. Good thing to bring up Nate, and he did show some sort of restraint, but I mean, he started it. So I'm kind of like, you started
No, he did. He did. No, he did. I'm just saying, I just saw more affection towards Ciara this episode. Like, I saw him touching her more, holding her more while they're sitting at the table, his arms around her. I see that more. And so I just wanted to acknowledge that because I've been on Paget in the past about how he's been acting towards Ciara. So
definitely.
That's a good point. Well, you know who else was very, very touchy-feeling? It was Jenna and Adam. Let's talk about this day off and how they took no days off from the PDA. What can we talk about when it comes to Jenna and Adam? What did you guys think about them this episode and their dynamic and just them as a couple?
Go ahead, Amir.
Listen, I have a lot of opinions. My face gave it away.
It did.
So you all know how I feel about Adam from past seasons. Not my favorite cup of tea. And Jenna and I got into it on Twitter, so me and her are not great. But the fact is, that aside, I do have opinions about their relationship. I think that it makes sense. They are very quick to make fun of other people on the ship. But I thought it was nice when Jenna did stand up for Madison among that. And she was like, no, I am wondering where Madison is. But then the way that Adam got mad at Jenna about maybe hurting this guy that Georgia also dated, like, you hooked up with multiple people on this boat. Like, give her a break. Like, I just didn't quite understand where he all of a sudden said we're in a relationship. When did that happen? Like, I felt like it went from 0 to 60. So I don't know. It was like, it felt like Bachelor fantasy.
That's true.
And then all of a sudden they're married. I was like, what's happening?
I mean, it seemed like all it took was one night in the master suite, and then it's like, no, we are together forever. Ooh. Anything you did in the past, like, I don't want to hear about it. So I just feel like it's funny because this is what happens when two, I don't want to call them broken, but two like kind of, hard exterior folks find each other, and they're like, oh my god. You have a yolk on the inside too? You have a yolk? Yeah. Okay, we'll crack each other's eggs and we'll become this amazing couple together. And I'm like, it's so cool because I think they're definitely each other's type. And I hope Adam doesn't self-sabotage it by being so hung up on her past, especially when she's like joking about it. I did think she said this joke a little too much. I feel like we talked about this man once. It doesn't have to be the same joke that you're saying 5 different times to Georgia. Like, Georgia's single. Right. you're not single. You have to switch that up.
Yeah. You said it again. And then you said he has a nice dick too. I was like, going too far. Like, I think Jenna is just a little bit like, she needs to watch her P's and Q's. But I love what Akilah, you said, you're a poet, that they crack there's yolks and now they're going to mix the yolk. I'm really here for it. But you know what? Let me read some shout outs to our fans from last week's episode. They are not as kind as you are. The brand Landor says, did Jenna ever do any work other than work on Adam? Ooh, shade.
Ooh, come on, shade. I need some tea for that.
that is some shade. And then we have Brandy J who says Parker and Madison for sure make a cute couple. Jen is making herself look crazy. Agreed. And then also we have Gerson who said, did anyone notice how they only showed her singing from the back and it seemed like it was recorded? It was weird. And Paget and Ciara do not belong together. So these are some hot takes from our last week's episode. We love the fans, and please comment, stay in the conversation with us, and please, when we do our taping with Ciara and Paget, ask your questions, get engaged. We want to hear from you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So pretty much our folks who listen don't like any of the current couples that are there. That's hilarious.
No.
Nope. Oh my gosh. Nate, what did you think about Jenna and Adam and just seeing this all unfold?
Well, like you guys, I hate them too. But I don't hate them. I don't hate anyone. I love everyone. I don't hate anyone. Okay, these are people. Okay, but just like you guys are saying, I just feel like they both are that toxic type of person where, they are making fun of other people. Jenna needs to vent and bring other people down, and Adam is that person that's going to accept that and then return it because he wants to bring people down as well. I don't know these people personally, so I don't know really how the editing is, but that's just what I see. And so, yes, I think they're going to work together from that perspective. Now, I'm going to have to disagree with Amir a little bit. That's okay. I think you too, Akilah. When it came to the Jenna and Adam, I mean, yes, Jenna needs to be quiet. You're talking way too much. I understand why Adam could be so jealous, simply because of the fact she was talking about just how great this man was. It wasn't just like they were talking about someone she dated in the past. Like, she was just like, he had a good D. He was such a good guy. He was great at surfing. He made money. Like, she was just like going over and over and over again. And again, I think one of the reasons why I hate Adam is because I see too much of Adam into me. Like, my dirty dog, Nate.
I see dirty dog, Nate.
Dirty dog.
My past, too much of me. And so what I see in Adam is the fact that, like, he is mad at Jenna, just like you said, about whatever she did in her past, but he probably has a lot of those same stories in his past. He's probably thinking in his head, oh, I know I've been with this girl that was probably way better than Jenna, but I'm the same way. I'm very jealous. Like, my wife, I want her to be a virgin. Like, and I like.
All right. You ain't about to. Well, you never know.
I'm jealous like that. I'm sorry. So I understand. Like, I'm a jealous person. Like, I don't want to know no one, nothing. So I get Adam. I get him in that perspective.
Palm Sunday was a Sunday. I guess we got a lot to do before Easter. But
wow.
I've accepted it, guys. I'm just saying.
Christian girl is a virgin, honey. How to make that happen? Oh, girl. Wow, Nate. You never failed a surprise.
I'm serious. But listen, I'm open. I'm not saying I'm going to marry virgin. I'm just saying, like, I'm jealous like that. I'm gonna be like, wait, hold on.
You saying this guy? Yes, I get it. And that's why I feel like the problem was her saying it more than once. Yeah. And, if it was a joke between her and Georgia, fine. But, it's just certain things that I wouldn't really bring up, especially when it's fresh. Like, this is like a situation that if it was Ciara and Paget, if some of them brought it up, I feel like they're so much more secure in their relationship. Yeah. It's totally fine. It's like, okay, well, I'm basically flirting with this other girl right here. So we're fine anyway. So it doesn't even matter.
But how random is that, though? That the fact that Georgia and Jenna hooked up with the same, like, are they from the same area? Like, how, like, coincidental is that?
Yeah.
They're not, because they have different accents. So I don't think, I don't know.
Exactly. And at Universal at that, I'm like, okay.
Little plug for Universal. Bring people together, honey.
I see it. I was just so surprised. Jenna has such a good voice. Like, she has such a good singing voice, and her on the guitar show. Like, wait, she is a multi-talented bitch. I love it.
I was shook by that.
I love it. That was great. I mean, and we also, obviously, we were talking about Ciara and Paget, Jenna and Adam, who are together, but then we also have this "I love you as a friend" moment, aka Madison cannot catch a break on this charter season.
Poor Madison.
And yes, I know it started out with Madison basically being put on warning by her job, by her, her boss, Captain Glenn, and then it seemed to just go downhill from there. But is Madison somewhat to blame for this? And is Madison, should Madison have seen the signs with Parker, or was it really like, any person in that position would have been shocked as she was? What do you think?
Y'all better leave my girl Madison alone. I know that much. Hey, look, y'all better leave my girl Madison alone. Okay, starting with Jenna and like her job being on like alert, I guess, lack of a better term. But it makes me think a little bit more about Captain Glenn, because initially I loved the way that Captain Glenn was doing his management style, but I think it's starting to become an issue. And I think it is because he's going to, which typically in any type of hierarchy type of situation, like as you being the boss, you go to the next leader down and then you go down. So he's going to Jenna and Paget, who are, the leaders that are on the boat, but he's just going by their words. He's not seeing enough of actually what's going on. So he's asking Jenna, and she's going to say whatever she feels. It could be factual, it could be true or not, but he's just going with that, without having any other concrete data. So then when he does start looking and he sees one small thing that maybe as Madison does, or last week, Parker did, and it seems so much bigger than what it really is. And so I just don't like that aspect, because just like, and I'm so proud of Madison for standing up for herself. She didn't just accept that, because me in that position, I just accept punishment, even if I feel like I'm 100% right. I'm just like, okay, whatever, I'll fix it. Like, but she stood up for herself, because Jenna doesn't talk to her properly, And so just from that, it was like, all right, I understand that you are my boss, Jenna, but I am a human being. You're not going to talk to me crazy. So good job, girl. But Parker, Parker's an idiot. Like, I'm sorry, Parker, you missed out on a great girl. I'm sorry. I don't know. But I don't think that on both sides, though, I don't think that Madison, she did. But I'm bad at picking up when girls are flirting with me or they're interested in me. But I don't think that she even showed it that much where he needed to have that conversation with her.
I think she did, but what I didn't like that Parker kept doing is airing out what she was doing for him to the other folks on the boat. And you don't even know their relationship. Yes, it's a small boat and you guys all want to build this camaraderie, but you don't have to build these friendships by talking about Madison, who's like putting her feelings on the line. She wrote the note for you in the morning, left you granola and stuff, and the first thing you do is like tell her boss, who she knows she's having issues with, that hey, she wrote me this note and blah blah blah. And then when he was finally deciding, like, you know what, I have strong feelings for Katie with an I, that he had to speak with, Georgia and Ciara about how he was going to break it down to Madison. I didn't really like how, I feel like that's a little level of embarrassment that Madison didn't deserve. And she doesn't know yet that he was talking to all these people about it before she just, had the conversation with her. So that's my only thing.
I agree. I really agree with you.
Go ahead, Amir.
No, I was just going to say, I agree with both of you. I think that, Madison is kind of being drugged in, like, the way she's overworked, and then they're criticizing her about her bra and Jenna's making fun of her. Why would you go say that to Jenna? Then Jenna's like, oh, she has a little schoolgirl crush.
Right.
It's like, so do you. You're obsessed with Adam. Like, how is that different? Like, I just couldn't understand. She's doing exactly what she's criticizing Madison for doing. And again, I get these both can be lonely. And when I was DMing on Twitter with Madison, she said, like, I just wanted some attention from someone. Like, I felt like everyone was coupling up and I was all alone. And it's like, that can feel, you want some attention.
Human
like,
beings.
It makes sense. We're human beings. Exactly.
We're human beings. Yeah. Kind of going back to what you were saying, Akilah, I get, like, Parker is in the wrong for that because you have to understand the situation that you were in, because like you're saying, like, we're in close quarters. It's not like we're at a university where someone is expressing how they feel to you and you're just going and expressing to someone else. Like, you're in close quarters. But us as human beings, just in general, I feel like that's just a natural instinct for us. Like, when someone is showing love, even if you want that love or not, you're gonna go share it. And especially in a situation like this, I feel like he was just like Parker is just like that guy who just feel like, I don't want to call him, no, I don't want to even use the word. I feel like he's just kind of just like, he just goes with the wind.
Fuck boy.
no. I was gonna say, like, he's like airheady. Like, he's just like airheady, but like he's not like airheady, but he just goes with the wind.
He doesn't think fully with it. Yeah,
exactly. And so
he's just kind of all over the place.
Yeah, so I just think that he was just really truly like not trying to air her out, but like literally looking for advice. But it like that those things can go in a situation where it can really backfire and doesn't look good. But I really think he was just looking for advice, and simply just looking for advice, but it just didn't backfire. He didn't know what to do. He probably was really confused because he probably also realized that he was giving off those vibes, because he was that person for Madison. He was, at calling her beautiful, telling her let's have meetings, and always supporting her. So he probably realized that and was like, dang, like, she does have a crush on me. My girlfriend's coming. What do I do, everyone? And so I get him from that perspective.
Right. Can I say something real quick before we move on? But it's interesting when she was feeling emotional and then he went after her and then he was kind of yelling at her, but like, I think he was just so impassioned and she was like, can you not yell at me? That was a lot.
I was
chill out.
Like, okay, I'm great. Thank you. That was awesome. But I mean, okay, so that happened, and then we obviously found wind that they're having another charter guest, some folks who models and friends of models,
Playboy,
and what have you, Playboy, all of the above. And while we didn't get too deep in this episode about what they're going to be like and everything, we do have in our news and special segment section that Nate and Amir will take us away with some of the different things that other past charter guests have requested, or just showed too much, just did too much in general. But let's talk about it, Nate.
So, as we know, we always get some of the craziest special guests requests on Below the Deck. One of the requests, someone wanted to have the almonds peeled. Have you ever heard, is this even a real thing? Have you guys ever heard of this?
A peeled almond.
Peeled almonds. So what they had to do is they had to put the almonds and they had to soak them and then
so you put it in water
with a teaspoon. I'm sorry, but I would have quit.
Oh my God.
I can't do the customer service industry. Can't do it. I'm not doing it. I'm probably gonna throw the almonds back in your face.
My thing is, how did you yourself realize that this is how I like to eat almonds?
I don't know, because I know you weren't scrubbing them off. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out
So
the same,
if you
same
put
thing,
them in, if you put them in overnight, they'll just peel right off. So I think this charter guest wanted it within 2 hours. That's why they had to peel it with the teaspoon. But if you put it overnight, they'll peel right off. They just squish. They just jump out.
Do they taste better? Like
I like it better, but listen, I'm a bougie.
So Amir, so we're figuring out that Amir was actually this charter guest. Got
yeah,
it. Got
it.
it.
I was the one. I was like, get the teaspoons out and start scraping my almonds.
But I have one more. So one time back in the past season, one of the crew members was expressing to one of the guests how she gets cold sores, and the best way to get rid of a cold sore is to throb it with alcohol, put a little cold sore cream on there, and then you'll be good to go. So what happened is this guest got a cold sore and asked that crew member to come and blot her cold sore with alcohol and put the cold sore cream on for her at 5 a.m.
Oh my God.
What is wrong with people?
Oh my God.
But see, I'm more like in distraught about the people who are doing it. Like, I'm so sorry. I don't care about this tip. I don't care about this job. I am not touching your cold sore. I'm not doing it. Not today. Not today.
There's not enough money in the world, Nate.
No.
Not gonna happen. So yeah, crazy people in this world.
Yikes.
I'm not as crazy. I'm less maintenance.
Yeah,
crazy,
you found it. Those are good. Those are great ones. Literally shocked.
Shout out to Amir.
That really shook me, Nate. That really shook me.
Oh my gosh. Funny. Well, I know we are going into the news as well, but if there's a special video that we should show, then now's the time.
Honey, we're gonna do a little news video, and then I'm gonna jump in. We do have a little live comment on the live chat because we actually get to be live now for our Bravo shows. Laura is saying Paget always has room for one more of laughing emojis. So yeah, seems that way. Seems that way. And we're gonna ask that fateful question: have you two had a threesome? We're gonna ask them Wednesday at 11 a.m. It's gonna be live. So if you want to jump in on that, Wednesday at 11 a.m. So
Pacific
the news, we have a lot of.
I thought you were just asking. I thought you were just asking us. Right? I'm like, hold on. We're not talking about this.
We're not Ciara and Paget.
Honey, no. It's not about your messy day. I want to hear about that dirty dog.
I was gonna be like,
dirty dog Nate.
Dirty dog Dave.
Dirty dog Nate. I love it. Okay, so kind of piggybacking off what Nate was saying about the crazy guest request. Last week, our last charter guests were really, first of all, they came on and said, we don't want to see any food. We don't want to smell it. We don't want to eat it. And they ate everything. So one of the, which I didn't get, I was like, what? And one of the guests was very difficult. When they did the beach picnic, she was like, oh, is she not going to serve us? And then one of her friends was like, well, it's caprese salad. Like, just literally this.
Remember that. Yes.
And yeah, so just, I think sometimes they go on the show and they want to be extra difficult because they're like, I spent all this money and whatever. And then she also said she doesn't like eating asparagus. She actually said, I'm kind of afraid to eat asparagus because I can't stand the way my urine smells. Well, then don't eat it. Like, what was the point of mentioning that? Bizarre. And then she also went on for breakfast saying that she kind of would like her to make our plate. So take the bacon, the eggs, and it's like kind of like it's like a buffet style. And then she wants her to arrange it with the crispy bacon, then the hash brown, then the egg, and all separated. I don't know why she's being so crazy, but I did love when Jenna was like, how hard it is to get up off your ass, Carla. Should I also chew it up and baby bird feed it to you? So Jenna's very shady and we're here for it. So that kind of piggybacks off of some of the wild requests. And then to kind of further tease our interview we're going to have with Ciara and Paget on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll say it 100 times. So when I was speaking to Ciara, she told me that they were quarantined in Genoa, and there was an article for cheatsheet.com. They do like a great thing of a reality update. They talked about how they just bought their first home, which I know it's a horrible time to buy a home, but they did buy a home in France, and it was actually really sweet. Paget put up a cute picture and said, a mile, what did it say? Mille un notte with you. So I love spending a night with you. And he said that she looked, and then it commented and said she looked beautiful. It said, but how gorgeous does Ciara look under the caption about buying their first home?
Literally.
So I think they're very sweet. They're a sweet couple. We're here for it.
I love them now.
And I think they're very sweet. And then
they're gonna make it.
They're gonna make it, and they're working on a boat as well in Italy. They've been quarantined. They're getting a provision, so they're working together. And they also said that, which we'll get to in the interview as well, but they talked about how the 8 months or 9 months before everyone came on board, they actually had a whole crew, which I didn't know, on this boat, and they had everyone working, and it wasn't just her and Paget and Captain Glenn. It was actually a full crew.
Oh,
so she's like, that was misrepresented. So that's some tea we're gonna spill on Wednesday as well. Yeah, that's some good tea. Yeah.
Oh, that's
it for the news.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yes. Very exclusive news too. I mean, there's a lot of things that the public obviously didn't know, and we'll get more into that, like we said, on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So yes. All right. So I mean, that was great. And I mean, the last thing we really want to talk about is these predictions. I mean, they didn't get too deep into what's happening next episode, but we did get some things we saw.
Yes. Time for some predictions, honey.
Let's get into some predictions. And now, but we did talk about, or we did see something with Parker. Parker is ready to blow up. You talked about how he was getting loud with Madison. He is about to get loud on this boat. And I think one of the main things that's really going to happen, obviously we saw that he was still upset about, you know, people thinking that he's still being breastfed by his mom. And it's so weird for me to even say this out loud, but I'm like, this is what happened. And I'm kind of like, was this a rumor or was this true? I forget now, because this is the first episode that was mentioned.
They teed it. So you remember, Akilah, they kind of teed it, and there was like a joke. It was like, I think Jenna said he probably wasn't breastfed by his mom, and he said, no, I was breastfed a lot. And it was a laughing joke. They even laughed about it 2 episodes ago. And now it's like, boom,
now it's a problem. Because he just did a video with Jenna, like a fake video, as if he was breastfeeding or getting breastfed by Jenna. So anyway, prediction, we know what's going to happen. Parker is definitely going to blow his pipe when it comes to this. What else do you guys think is going to happen next episode?
I think that this whole Parker situation, I want to stay there too, because everything else I can't really predict anything. The Parker situation, I think it may be correlated to his girlfriend coming there, and then like something happened between that thing, and then he blows up on everyone just because Parker's just on edge now. Like, and I love that he's on edge. Or but remember how we heard about the cocaine or something like that?
Yes. When is that?
Do you think it's going to come up? Drugs or
remember the cocaine?
Or whatever the drugs that was. They showed us a preview of. That is either going to come next episode, and it might have something to do with his girlfriend.
Coming and bringing it there. That.
Yes, I'm so ready.
You're right. Wow. Okay, so we can actually talk about next episode. There's that. Oh my God, that's so true. Amir, what else do you think is going to happen?
I don't want to go after that. That was the best prediction ever. Let me think, honey. I think Jenna and Adam, when they go out, there's gonna be her flirting with someone, and he's gonna get even more frustrated with her. And maybe there's gonna be like a DTR moment, like, let's define the relationship. What are we doing? So I think that's gonna happen. I think Madison is going to have some feelings about this Katie with an I. I've never seen Katie spelled like, I don't know, Waikiki or something. So I don't know, honey. White people, they're doing the most. So it's coming, and we'll see how that all works out. But I don't think it's going to be a match made in heaven. I think Parker's going to realize that relationship is gone, and he's going to see Madison in a whole new light. That's my prediction.
And that's the hope. And I think exactly that too. Like, I feel like this is what needs to happen. Sometimes you just need to go back to your past to see, you know, I left you there for a reason, and it is what it is. And who knows? But whatever happens, we'll be right here, same time, same place, at home next week, talking about Below Deck Sailing Yacht. And I hope some of these predictions come true. But if not, I mean, definitely tell us what you think is going to happen next. You can hit us up in between now and next week on our socials. My Instagram is at Akilah Ffriend, AKILAHFFRIEND. So hit up your best friend with 2 F's. I'm here to talk about all things Bravo, all things Below Deck with you. Let us know where they can reach you, Nate.
Yes, you can reach me at @RoyalNate_. Don't forget the underscore, ROYALNATE_. All social media platforms. I love to talk about Madison, so just hit me up. We talk about Madison.
Yes, love it. Nate, I need your Instagram for Dirty Dog Nate _. So that's the Instagram that I need. You can find me at Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at Amir Yacht _ and like Nate, don't forget the underscore, and it's YASS. And please don't forget to watch our exclusive interview with Paget and Ciara on this Wednesday at 11 a.m. We're very excited.
It's gonna be
We'll all
dope.
be here together.
It's gonna be so
fun.
good. Until then, y'all, thanks so much for watching, and see you next week. See you Wednesday, not even next week.
See you
real ones.
Wednesday.
See you Wednesday.
Yes.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.